Hello, girls, guys, or otherwise. This is Rich with your Witchy Wednesday, and we are talking about um, cleansing yourself and cleansing your space in order to become ready or, prepare yourself for ritual. So, this is actually taken from, and I don't have my copy of the book here. Son of a. Anyway, we'll do without. This comes from the Outer Temple of Witchcraft, which we are obviously going through on our Witchy Book Club series. If you're not joining us, there's your invitation. Come join us. Join us in the dark. Join us on the dark side. We got cookies. But join us on our Witchy Book Club series. We are going through the Outer Temple of Witchcraft by Christopher Penzak, and we covered in. Hold on, don't tell me. I think it's chapter 11, maybe. I believe it's chapter 11. We covered the circle and the ritual and all that stuff. And I said, you know what? This seems like something that I could go into a little bit more of depth with a video for Witchy Wednesday. So here we are. So cleansing yourself, cleansing your space. I'm going to talk more about the self than the space because for me, whenever it comes to doing ritual in a circle, I do the circle, then I cleanse space. So I'm going to talk briefly. You know what? Let me just go ahead and talk about space first. First things first. This is a holy place. This is a place that you are preparing for holy actions or for a sanctified purpose or for a magical purpose of sorts. You are making this hallowed ground, and by that, you should, if you are indoors, at least in my opinion, make sure that it is tidy. I certainly, as you can see behind me, have a lot of things that are really messy. I am not going to be holding circle for deity figures to make themselves be present in a space that is cluttered and dirty and it doesn't smell in here. It's just cluttered and, and when I say dirty, I mean like dusty. I do have dust on the shelves and whatnot. So yes, I need to run a rag over everything, get it dust free. Still in the transition of maneuvering things. Haven't really had a chance to be in here since the last Witchy Book Club series, whenever I did chapter 12 part 1. Dr. Pepper cream soda, not bad. Anyway, I don't usually drink Dr. Pepper, but I got it for my boyfriend's brother who was watching the dogs whenever we went out for his birthday. And that was one of the bargaining chips of, hey, come watch our dogs for us so I can take your brother out on a nice date and whatnot without having to worry about getting home for the dogs. And he was like, okay. So we got him some pop and whatnot, and this was what was left over. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yes, I haven't been in this room really since our Witchy Book Club series, the last Saturday's one. This is the first time I've actually come in here and started the computer up and whatnot. So I haven't really had a chance to be in here to clean, to maneuver, to make sure that everything is on shelves and properly placed and in the right spots and whatnot. I'm kind of in flux on where I want everything to go. And a big part of that flux is because I have some boxes in here that need to either go out into the garage, for one, or for two, are not being sold, and I need to find a place in this house that I can put them that's not in my witchy space. Because, after all, this is hallowed ground. We don't taint the hallowed ground, and intend to have it tainted while we use it. Okay, so, first things first, like I said, make sure that you clean the space physically. It doesn't have to be, white glove inspection, but, you are inviting a deity figure. You are inviting spirits that you are in communion with. Um, whether this is asking them for spell work to be fruitful, or if you are just communing with them for your own spiritual uh, advancement, your maybe you're in a circle doing work with the deceased, you're inviting people into your area. you know have a little pride in your area, and keep it nice, keep it presentable, um, make it appealing and appeasing to the individuals that are showing up. It's one of those things, like, if you were inviting somebody who you had a great respect for in your personal life, I'm talking physical being, somebody that you admire, if they were coming to your house, you know how would you present it? And in the best way that you can, of course. And that may be only to a certain point, because maybe you only have the means for um, a shelf from IKEA. I'm saying that because I have a shelf from IKEA over there. um, Maybe you only have a shelf from IKEA, and that to you is the nicest furniture that you have. Or maybe it's a hand-me-down hutch, that you got out of a clean out of somebody's house or something like that. Or maybe it's something that was left in your house that you have, and the previous person didn't take out of here, and it takes up a lot of room, but you like to use it. Maybe it's not the colors that you like to have it, but it is something that you are at least trying to make as presentable as possible. Uh, Again, within your own means. If, say, for the Catholics out there, you'll get this. If the Pope were coming to visit your house, you would at least make sure it was cleaned, and that you didn't have socks laying around, because, well, sometimes you have a sock laying around your house. Yes, those are my socks laying next to my computer here in the witchy room. uh yes, they were left there because I wanted to take my socks off, and that's where they landed, and I didn't throw them in the hamper yet. But these are things that normally happen in my house, in the house portion. This is the witchy room. It's actually right across the hall from my bedroom, or our bedroom. But this is its own designated space. It has its own designated purpose. And, you know, as you can see, I get a little bent out of shape that I have so many things behind me, to the point where I actually crop it out of the picture. But I get bent out of shape because it's like, I know that those things shouldn't be there, and it bugs me. If it's bugging me right now, seeing that in a picture, imagine what it would be like if the Pope were to come to visit, and he sees, um, you know, a knitted niffler on top of a candle holder, on top of a calligraphy set, on top of a whole bunch of oils, on top of a Bible. It's not exactly the best look. So definitely clean physically. Wow, I just talked about cleaning physically for 9 minutes. Holy Nikes. Anyway, um, so cleaning your space physically, and then energetically, going through. Most commonly, you'll see with smudge sticks. I don't like to use the term smudging anymore, and I don't necessarily like to use white sage anymore. At this point, I'm going to use the rest of the supply that I have, and then I might find an alternative, or at very least buy less, or maybe try to grow my own. I have tried to grow my own before, but the seeds were old. Um, at least we think, but because none of them sprouted. Anyway, um, so cleansing your space energetically with something that's going to drive out any negative energies and whatnot. This can be, like I said, with smoke or incense. It can be with your little holy water in an atomizer, like that, as I get water everywhere. It can be with sound. utilizing your bells, or doesn't have to be big bells, could be a little tiny bell. You can do this with, just a flame, taking a candle around, and really just trying to relax that energy to calm it down so it's not chaotic or anything. And then you can start with ramping the energies up for an intended purpose to raise those vibrations up, so they are more appealing to a spiritual being that is, coming to help you with whatever it is that you have them coming to help with. Maybe it's, like I said, an internal thing. Maybe it's spell work that you're trying to do. Maybe it's communing with the dead. Maybe it's just sitting in circle for your own relaxation, for a meditation and whatnot. And that's fine too. Absolutely. So cleaning things physically, cleaning things energetically, and there are multiple ways to do each of to do the second one. Really, the only way to do the first one is to physically, clean. Windex, vinegar, water, oil for the wooden objects and whatnot, use as directed and whatnot, and all that good stuff. Anyway, now I want to talk to you about the primary thing that I had focused in my notes, which I have not looked at once yet, and that's about cleansing yourself, or preparing yourself, your physical body, for the experience of ritual. So first things first, when we're talking about cleansing, it might seem to be only physically cleaning, but no, it goes deeper than that, of course, because we're talking, we're talking metaphysical stuff here. Physically cleaning your body and making sure that your body is squeaky clean is also important, because, of course, you're meeting a figure of some sort that you are inviting into your house. Show them the respect of cleaning your own body. And this goes hand in hand with, if you are physically able to do this, if it is within your means, all that stuff does apply. I don't want to be ableist here, assuming that everybody has the means to do every single thing that I'm instructing here. Don't want to make that assumption, but cleaning yourself in the best way possible, in the greatest extent possible, making sure that you are physically clean. Now, if I've already taken a shower, like I took a shower earlier today, if I wanted to do ritual right now, other than the area not being prepared for it, I would not feel the urge to go and get another shower. That is not where I sit in the realm of everything. But if you are being called to go and get a shower to physically cleanse yourself, then absolutely. For me, if I feel the need of being physically cleansed, I may take a little bit of holy water and then just bless myself. And I'm doing it like this, so that's why I'm using this thumb. But yes, I could physically bless myself, and that would be physically cleansing to myself. So I could do that. I could wash my hands with the water, the holy water, and physically cleaning my hands, like they do in the church, where you run the water over the hands, and then you wipe the hands on the special towel, and the holy towel and whatnot. All those things. Absolutely, you can physically clean your hands. If COVID-19 taught us one thing, it's to freaking wash your hands regularly. Don't make this a once a day occurrence. Washing your entire body, maybe shouldn't do it multiple times a day, like 2, 3, 4 times a day. Probably not a good thing, but washing your hands several times a day is a good and medically necessary thing. So yes, physically cleaning yourself. Make sure that, as I'm bumping stuff here, make sure that you don't smell bad. this is a hard conversation to have, and actually, whenever you go through Airman Leadership School in the Air Force, uh, in the United States Air Force, um, they actually have this scenario called the Smelly Airman, where you are preparing to be a supervisor and you have to confront somebody about how they freaking reek and they need to go home, get a shower, and come back to work smelling like roses. That type of thing. Um, but you're also supposed to, like, is there anything going on at home? You're supposed to dig into their life to find out what the underlying cause is of them smelling bad. But be honest with yourself. You know if you smell bad. You know. Uh, Keep in mind who you are inviting and the gravity of that situation. If you are asking these entities to help you out in a spell work type of forum, then you better be coming correct. Otherwise, you might not want to try to ask them to come back again because they might not want to. And of course, different figures that you might be inviting into your circle may like different scents. So some might like the rose water, some might like a lilac smell, stuff like that. So these are things that you know whenever you're working with certain deity or certain spirits or whatnot, what they like. You figure these things out. Anyway, then I want to go into mentally preparing yourself. Cleansing your mind of the mundane stuff, the mundane rhetoric that goes through your mind, such as, work, finances, friends, family, co-workers, all those things that really bog down your mind and really kind of take your attention away from the situation at hand. Um, so, for instance, in circle, you don't want to be sitting there thinking about the butthole at work that sat there and yelled at you up one side and down the other and still didn't get his way, and how he still makes you angry right now, even though this happened last week and it's still on your mind and you're in circle and you're trying to ask deity for something. Please, no. Instead of doing that, solve your own problems here in the head. Release those things, release those situations from your mind. Work through them in your mind if you need to, or if this is a situation where you're going into circle in order to work through these things, that's okay. Everything else, like, worrying about the finances, worrying about the laundry that's in the dryer that needs to be folded, that's in the washer that needs to go in the dryer, the carpet that needs to be swept. These are things that you don't really have to worry about while in circle. These are things that you can worry about when you're, doing the rest of your mundane life, the other 23 hours of the day. Anyway, and I'm talking really fast because I want to get these points across and I don't want this to be a half an hour video. But if you're not catching up, you can always slow down these videos. I take no offense to it. But I get a little worked up whenever people start saying, oh, I'm not mentally prepared. Well, get there. It's okay if you're not always mentally prepared, but if you intend to be in ritual or in a hollowed area, you don't want to bring those things in with you. And if this isn't something that you're going into this ritual setting, into this hollowed setting with, if you're not going in with that reverence, why are you doing it? Are you doing this because this is something that you were taught? This is how you do this, and this is, you just go in circle, and this is what you do, and this is how you do that. No, is there actually feeling behind that? Why are you doing these things if it's just out of rote repetition? I often ask the same things of Catholics. Are you saying these prayers because you truly intend behind them, or you truly have intention behind the meaning of these prayers, or is this just something that you're saying out of rote memory? Is it just a knee-jerk reaction? That the priest says something and you say something in return. Is there actually intent behind what you're saying, or is this an empty thing that you're saying? And that gets me with the with the mental portion, if you're saying, okay, well, I got to go into circle and I just have to deal with this, and it'll be on in the back of my mind the entire time, but I'm just going to deal with it. No, if you're not dealing with that, maybe you shouldn't be in circle. Just saying. And I mean I'm usually a lot more passive than this. For all y'all that watch these videos, I'm usually a lot more passive about this. But if you're not going into circle with the reverence that circle deserves, then why are you doing it? And should you be doing it? And if you can honestly answer these questions as yes, I should still be doing this, I should still be in that circle, in that ritual, then absolutely go ahead in. But if your honest answer to anybody else would be no, you should not be in there, then maybe you shouldn't be in there. But I'm not going to gatekeep to you about whether or not you should be in circle. Instead, I'm going to talk about energetic cleaning. Energetic cleansing. So, after you have physically cleaned yourself, whether that's through a shower, through a simple blessing, washing your hands, absolutely, always a good thing to do. Totally back that up. Mentally preparing yourself by stilling the mind. You get all those things, all those troubles of the mundane world, the things that you worry about, like vacuuming the carpet and the clothes in the dryer. You get those things out of your mind. You say, okay, right now I'm not dealing with any of that. I'm going to leave all of those outside of this door of this room, and whenever I come out of this room and, I join the mundane world again, then yes, I can worry about those things again. But right now, right here, right now, I'm going to mentally clear my head of the things that I don't need to worry about. The things I need to worry about is performing ritual and being in the presence of whoever's coming in my circle, whoever I'm allowing into my circle, or asking to join my circle, such as deity, elementals, ghosts, spirits, guides, whoever you're bringing into your ritual space as hallowed ground. Be there for mentally for them. In spell work and whatnot, having that on your mind, not clothes in the dryer. If you don't notice, I have clothes in the dryer that need to be folded. Anybody want to come do my laundry for me, please? Is that strange to ask? Anyway, I don't know the proper public protocol of YouTuber and subscriber like doing laundry. I don't know if that is that weird. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to talk about energetic cleansing. Because after you have done the physical cleaning, you have done the mental cleaning, and now it's time for that energetic cleaning. Now, energetic cleaning can be those attachments that we have from the mundane world. These don't necessarily have to happen by direct contact. It's not necessarily somebody that you come in contact with on a daily basis. This can be somebody that you've talked to on the phone, or texted, because nobody uses the phone anymore. I'm checking the time over here, and it could be somebody that you saw their post on Facebook, and they are a huge supporter of a certain individual with a party that's on a side of they think that the president can dictate the what was the latest one that one of my I'm speaking from experience here. My cousin, sidebar, my cousin posted about, why doesn't the president take away his salary, his staff salary, and Congress's salary until they raise the debt ceiling, rather than taking from the Social Security Administration. And I had to simply tell him that the president is over the executive branch, and he has control over Health and Human Services, which controls the Social Security Administration. So he has power over Social Security Administration, but he does not have the power of the purse whenever it comes to dictating people's salaries in the government. That's Congress. Anyway, So yeah, I had to call him out on that. As you can see, I have energetic attachment to a nasty feeling. I bring those nasty feelings along with me, and they cloud into my videos. Thank you to my cousin, who is a douche. Anyway, uh, so these are connections that you make over Facebook, over, Twitter or whatever. These people that, kind of latch onto you, or even you latch onto them, not really meaning to. Um, and it's hard to cut those cords, but energetically cutting those cords, cleansing the energy around you to be of a higher vibration, rather than one, that, or being lowered down by their vibrations, coming in towards you, the way I see it. So let's say this is the cord. This is me. Boop. This is my cousin sitting over here. All the bad juju, blah, 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 all that stuff, all spewing on Facebook, and I'm like a dummy reading it. All comes into me. So what I would have to do is, if my cousin's over here, spewing all of his little hatred and crap, then what I have to do is, before going into ritual, I need to pluck that cord out. Let that crap go. Say, I'm not dealing with this. I need to be energetically unconnected from this putrid crap. And I need to get on with what I need to do. Leaving things lay where they are, or stopping the things that are bogging you down energetically at the door, is a big deal. Working through those, a lot of people call it shadow work, I do as well, is a huge deal. Meditation is fantastic for this, as with with the mental cleansing and whatnot. Meditation is huge for these things. So definitely sit there, meditate, get into that headspace of, hey, I need to raise my vibrations, because deity or spirit or, some guide is going to be probably talking to me at some point during this ritual. Even if I'm going in to just do a spell, if that is something that you do. I don't necessarily cast circle and do ritual for just a spell. You certainly can. However, if I'm just going in there for a spell and I'm sending it up to deity and all that, as some people do, if I were to do that, then, I'm probably still going to, at some point, be talking to spirit or guides or somebody, and they're going to probably, most likely, I would hope, talk back to me, because I'm there to learn as well as to request. We are both there to commune with one another, and this isn't just a one-way road where we do the talking and they do the doing. No. Um, they will let you know what you need to do, but if your vibrations aren't high enough, you're probably not going to hear them as clearly. You might not get the message through, or they might not get the message through as clearly to you, because it's a lot better for you to go up than for them to come down in vibrational sense. Wow. Anyway, so you want to, take off and slough off all that, like, gunky energy, whether that is through essential oils, through, again, using smudge sticks or incense of some sort, is a fantastic way. I would suggest to search your conscience as to whether or not you would want to use white sage. You can use regular sage, for crying out loud. It still has a lot of the same properties. Palo Santo is also fantastic for this. You can use just about any incense. You can use multiple types of incense for cleansing, and they will work just fine. And, even, again, holy water, sprayed around you, fantastic, wonderful, does wonders. You are physically cleaning or cleansing the area around you. This has been blessed and it has been consecrated, and it has a job to do to take away any negativity that is, it comes in contact with or that it is around. So, it takes that away. It drives it out. So, holy water has 1,000 uses. So, yeah, absolutely, you can go around and spray this around you, and just meditating, getting your mind, your energy levels up. Make sure your chakras are spinning the way they should. I've done videos on that. Examining your chakras, making sure that they're open and receptive to any energies or signals or insights that are coming through. Always open, root to tip. Opening your crown chakra, opening your third eye chakra, especially to make sure that you're getting these messages from deity correct. These are all things that you should want to do when you're going into a ritual space. Like I said, this is not just a going into a room, sitting down with some friends and, shooting the shit. No, this is you going, into a space, at least for me. It is going into a space that is hallowed ground, that you have sanctified, that you have made holy and prepared for this deity that is far more powerful than you, as a mere mortal, or, well, mere human being. This is a deity figure that is, coming to you, that you are now in the presence of, and you want to honor them with as much reverence as you can. And doing that entails physically cleaning, mentally cleaning, being there, being receptive, raising your energy so whenever they speak, you get to listen. But I think I've gotten the points across. I think we're good there. If you have anything to add or take away, go ahead and leave those in the comment section below. Yeah, this is 32 minutes. Wow. Okay. Almost had it. Almost had it. Maybe next time. Anyway, that's all that I have for this week's Witchy Wednesday. I believe next Wednesday, I think we're talking about circle casting, I think was the next one on the list. Pretty sure it was. If it's not, we'll find out next Wednesday. Actually, I'll find out later this week whenever I plan for next week's. I'm trying to make, myself be like a week ahead or so, that would be great. But anyway, that's all that I have for Witchy Wednesday. Join me tomorrow for Table Talk Thursdays, where we go through our Table Topics Cube. Have no clue what the topic is for tomorrow, and we will find out together. Until next time, may you have love, hugs, and ladybugs. Bye-bye.